We're on.
All right. All right. Tonight's Torah study is going to be a series of very, very in-depth, mind-boggling search. And as we go through and learn this Torah, we're going to learn more every day. And so if we make mistakes along the way, we'll correct them as we go. That's called learning Torah. We're going to learn Torah for the sake of heaven and learn Torah for Torah itself. The questions that we have to fix is what's broke? Is it broke? Who are we? What are we? Why are we Noahides, righteous Gentiles? I think there's becoming a separation of such things as your basic Noahide and a righteous Gentile. We have to, when we're talking the things we're talking about Talmud, we're talking about Kabbalah, we're talking about oral transmissions, and the ability to hear it. Now, some of the things that I've been going through this week, and the things that we're studying is this entire mapped out mumbo jumbo here, starting with the Ein Sof, or the infinite light, all the way down to earth. And where is the Noahide? That's my question. My question is, the Jews are solid in who they are, what they are, why they are, but who are we? And what are we, and what do we have to do with the whole picture, and where are we in the body of Adam? Where are we in God? If we exist, the fact that we exist, we have to exist somewhere else. Because we have to use the preface that the end is rooted in the beginning. So if we're here now, where are we there or then? So that has to be a constant. All right? Now, I'm going to go through a few things. I'm going to call it, where's Waldo? You know, the little things you used to have, and there's a picture of Waldo, and you had to find Waldo within that whole mosaic. You know? Mm-hmm. So, for me, and our quest is, the Noahides, or the righteous Gentiles, are going to be called Waldo. So if you hear us refer to where is Waldo or there is Waldo, then we're trying to put our finger on who we are. We have to use metaphors. And the problem with using metaphors is people pervert the metaphor. They call it, it's this is what it is, or they call it that is what it is. And in this world, that's one thing. When you're talking about God, Hashem, the name, and Adam, Kadmon, and Adam HaRishon, and the primordial worlds, it has no bearing on this or that, because it is multidimensional. You know, it has no up, no down, no front, no back, no in, no out. It's a pulsating thing housed within God. And if God is light, if He is spirit, let's call it, then where is His arm? Where is His ear? Where is His eye? Where are these things? So, because they don't exist, we have to use metaphors to describe it. We can't say, oh, the light emanated out of His ears. But we have to use those metaphors so we get an understanding. Okay? But we can't say God has ears.
Exactly.
Okay? But for us to understand Torah, we're going to have to use models and things from earth. Because, after all, we're created in the image and likeness of God. So these things have to exist on some sort of plane. Okay? Now, in Adam, where's the Noahide in Adam? Okay? We got, I drew this little figure up here where here's the head of Adam and here's the body of Adam. And not too long ago I gave a talk about where, we're the inner lining there of Adam. The problem is, we know in the sporadic structure, this is Abraham, this is Isaac, this is Jacob, this is Moses, this is Joseph, this is Aaron, and this is David. So if they're the arms, heart, reproductive system, right and left leg, and all this stuff, so if they are the body of Adam, if the Jews are Adam, who are we? Okay? Mitzvahs. Mitzvahs are done by the Jews. We have tohu, which is everything that has fallen out to the left at creation, or at the splitting of the vessels, shattering of the vessels, and then once again at Adam and Eve. And we can't say it's two different stories, although it sounds like two different stories. It's an iteration of the same story. And it goes over and over and over and over again. And so the whole Torah is this whole story revolving on a different level. Now, here's the trick. If you want to call it a trick, that's really a bad term, but we're going to understand this thing, we're going to call it a trick. The trick is, we're trying to find God in it. Where is God in Egypt? Where's God in that suffering? Because He exists in it. So where is He? And every time we find God, the story changes. It's the same story cloaked in a whole different thing. It's cloaked in world wars. What we're going to find when everything returns back to God and we look down with a higher consciousness, what we're going to see is everything was just one thing. It just had levels of iteration. There's nothing different. None of it changed. So to understand who we are, what we are, and why we are, we have to understand the very beginning, and we have to understand God. And there's nothing more in this world that He wants than for us to understand Him.
Do you think once we find Him, then if we think we found Him or we think we know Him, but now He's going to show us something else, and that's why everything changes again, because now we're seeing Him on a deeper level?
That's a very good way of putting it. It's going to be more like this. We're going to find Him, and He's going to go hide again. Mm-hmm. It's hide and seek. But you think it's getting further away. It's not. It's getting closer too. You see what I'm saying? Because you're coming from an outer point to an inner point. Okay? There's a lot of Noahides that are trying to decide whether to convert to Judaism and be a Jew. And so we're going to talk about conversion versus inversion. Because inversion is the key. If it fell in and down, it's got to invert and come in and up. And we're the key to that. So we got to see ourselves in that. The mitzvahs, we can't do the mitzvahs. We're not obligated to do, we're not commanded to do the mitzvahs. Only the Jews can do the tikkun. So, what's the mitzvahs to us? Why do we read the Omer? What benefit does it have? Why do we do Passover? Why do we do Rosh Hashanah? Where's the Noahide in that? The Torah was given to the Jews and the Jews alone, yet we have it. Why do we have it? Why do we have it in our possession? Why is Eleazar a big figure in Torah with Abraham? Why is Jethro a big figure in Torah with Moses? Why is Rahab a big figure in Torah with Joshua and the spies. And of course David and the Evanshtia. And the Gentile there, the Canaanite man that had the dome, the
Threshing floor.
the threshing floor, right? They're huge figures. So at some point, there's a Noahide in the mix, and so there's something that we are, and there's something that we are to do. The end is rooted in the beginning, so if we exist now, we existed then. Okay? How do we fix ourselves? There's been a discussion that before Noahides can get into this sort of teaching, this in-depth, sewed, secret level of Torah, that they have to fix themselves. So, how do you fix yourself? This is a question. And I've thought about it, and I've thought about it, and I've thought about it, and I've thought about it. How do I tell somebody to fix themselves? Because the Torah is not ours. The mitzvahs aren't ours. And that's how you fix things. But that's doing actions. That's you're being assertive. You're praying. We can't daven. We can, but is it doing anything? You know. So how do we fix ourselves? Well, I'm going to read a little kasha deal here that I have. And it really helped me understand how to fix ourselves. And here's the thing. When you're dealing with Noahides or Gentiles, people make a grave mistake. It has to be black or white. It has to be a this or a that. This is a crime against Torah, against the holiest of God's creation, which is the truth. And you may ask yourself, well, can it be black and white? Can it be positive commandments, negative commandments? Not when you're dealing with God. Because He's not this or that. He's everything. So how do you deal with something that is everything? Far too many people think it's a this or that. Most are unable to comprehend many things about life that are this and that. And so we have to look at there's possibly a third thing. So if it's not this or that, then what is it? And that's this third thing that we have to understand.
Could it be considered gray area?
Gray area. Yeah, it can be a gray area. And most of it follows in the gray area. A young man asked a rabbi, what is Talmud? He said, consider two men that climbed inside a chimney, said the rabbi. One comes out clean and the other one comes out dirty. Which man washes himself? What's the answer? Two men go in a chimney. One comes out clean, one comes out dirty. Who washes himself?
They both do.
Well, the obvious
answer
is, from our perspective is the one that's dirty.
The one that's dirty. He said, I'm not sure, admitted the young man. And so the rabbi said, the clean one washes himself. Because he sees the dirty man and thinks he's dirty too. Whereas the dirty man sees the clean one and thinks he too must be clean. Now, the two men climb inside the chimney again. One comes out clean, the other one comes out dirty. Which one washes himself? The clean one, answered the young man. You just told me so. He said, no, the dirty one washes himself. Each man looks at himself. And the clean one sees that he's clean, and the dirty one sees that he's dirty. So the dirty one washes himself. Now, the two men climb in the chimney. One comes out clean, and one comes out dirty. Which one washes himself? And we lost John Scott. You there, John? He's back. Okay. The two men go inside the chimney. One comes out clean, one comes out dirty. Which one washes himself? And he said, I guess neither one of them do. And he said, no, they both wash themselves. It is impossible for a man to go in a chimney and come out clean. Now, wait a minute. The young man challenges the rabbi. You just gave me 3 contradictory answers to the same question. He goes, that's impossible. No, said the rabbi, that's the Talmud. So, what we have to do to fix ourselves is fix our thinking. To fix yourself, to understand Talmud and understand Kabbalah, you must fix your thinking. You must understand that everything is in the realm of possibilities and all can happen. And you also have to tell yourself that nothing can happen. And then you have to be able to tell yourself it can both happen at the same time. And that is the hardest thing for a Gentile mind to do. Is to say, God can be here, He can be there, He can do this, He can do that, but He can't do this or He can't do that, yet He's doing it all at the same time. Okay? It's kind of like the fall of Adam, or the breaking of the vessels. So who made the mistake? Who made the mistake? Did God make the mistake? Is it God's fault they fell? Is it Adam's fault they fell? Is it Eve's fault they fell? Is it the serpent's fault they fell? Well, who created the whole thing? Who do you point the finger at? The moment you point the finger, you have just violated Torah. You can say, well, once we take it through creation and you see what's going on, you can say, well, it's the 800-pound elephant in the room, it's God, But no, Adam did it. Well, no, Eve did it. And so what you have to do is you have to look at the stories within the stories of what's going on, and it's all happening at the same time. Not only that, it's happening every day we live. Over and over and over again. That's what sustains life, is the light of God. And without the fall, there would be no creation. And we're going to learn how all this, it was, we want to look at the fall as something bad. We want to look at evil as something bad. Can God create something bad? He created evil. So when you start wrapping your mind around these thoughts, and when you start thinking about all these thoughts, and when you start understanding that it's all for one reason, so God can bless creation, it can end right there. It can end right there. It's all for God to bless creation. And so if we accept that, then it doesn't shatter us. And so I have a deal that we're going to go over Sunday. It's a tennis ball. And as we use metaphors, it's not a tennis ball. It's not creation, but understand we live in a 3-dimensional world, so we have to use a 3-dimensional metaphor, example. Okay? So here's our tennis ball. Now, here's a tennis ball that is cut open. And we can see it's got a yellow outside or green outside, and it's got a black rubber inside, and then it's got nothing. Nothing. Okay? And I turned this one inside out. Okay? This is what's happened to creation. It has turned itself inside out. It started like this. Guess what? Where the start is and where the end is the same thing. Because the end is rooted in the beginning. Now, for the sake of our example, this is Adam, Kadmon. This is everything. This is it. For this example, this is it. Okay? Where's the Noahide? Where's Waldo? The green outside is, if we use Adam, our little stick figure man over here, if the green is literally the body of the tennis ball, there's nothing outside the tennis ball except for we have a lining in here. And then there's nothing in the middle of the tennis ball. If I put you in a room for 3 days, let's just say for a day. If I put you in a room for a day without water, could you live?
Yes.
Yes. If I put you in a room without food, did I say food or water? What?
Water was first.
Water was first. If I put you in there without food for a day, could you live?
Yeah.
What if I put you in there without air?
No.
Well, now we have a problem. Because you can't see air. You can't feel air. You can't touch air. But without air in this room, we're dead. Air is the essence of life. Now we have to ask ourselves, is air alive?
No. I guess.
It's made up of matter.
Yeah, is matter alive?
Messed up my hair today.
You know, messed up Stacy's hair. So it's angry. So now air has a personality.
Windy.
Air had the power to split the sea. So it's got to have some force. Air can become a tornado. It can become a hurricane. Air's got a mind of its own. Air's a powerful thing. Air is what runs the whole world. Every animal breathes air. There's air in water, and the fish breathe water to get the air out. And like this tennis ball, the sea contains everything. So in this ball contains all creation. All matter of life. All air, all water, all the seed of everything is in this ball for our study today. So, where's Waldo?
Well, he has to be in the air inside the ball.
Very good. This ball, without air in it, doesn't have any shape or form. Without air, this ball has no bounce. What is a ball, Stacy, that has no air called?
Flat.
Or this ball is dead.
Oh.
You shall surely die. Okay? So for the sake of our class here, the air has been let out of the ball. And the ball has turned inside out. This is the state of Earth. Now, we've learned from previous classes that there's always Hasidim and Guvarot. There's always male and female. Correct? Okay. This is my little section where I like to draw. Hasidim and Guvarot. Male, female. When these things combine to make one thing, that's this. When they combine to make one thing, we just made our tennis ball. Okay? The yellow-green is the outside, because the rim of this is the rim of, when I say this, John, I'm talking about Hasidim, or Hesed, Chokhmah. This could be Chokhmah Bina, this could be Hesed Gurot. The green on the tennis ball is the outer rim. And so when we have Huk, the dance of Hasidim and Guvarot, of all of creation, look here, I can do this. This one's green, and we'll leave that one black. When Guvarot goes inside Hesed, and mercy contains judgment, we have peace. Right? Is that how it works?
I think so.
When mercy contains judgment, we have peace. I have the whole world in my hand. Metaphor. Okay, so this is the model that we're going to use for everything we're going to study from here on out. This is the state of it now. Because what happened was, I got a hole right here. And as we showed the inversion here, everything inverted and fell down. And so now you have the black side of the ball on the outside and the green side of the ball on the inside. Well, in reality, the black side of the ball is really thick. This is the 70 nations that are on the outside. But it's the Guvarot of Adam. The unmitigated Guvarot of Adam. What does unmitigated Guvarot want to do? Destroy the host. And all it's been trying to do is destroy and penetrate back into Adam. The problem is, as it hits the outside, it's total destruction. It has to get a consciousness and go back through the hole. Where's the hole? The Evangelia. That's the point to where it fell out. That's the da'at of Adam. So, as the outside understands it's the outside, the problem is most Gentiles think they're the chosen ones. No, we have our own Messiah. We're the chosen ones. What's Israel? We have this. We have 70 virgins. We have all these great things. We have our own religions. But there's only one religion because there's only one God. By definition, there can only be one religion. So, once we fix ourselves mentally and understand what we are, who we are, we can figure out where we belong. Okay? Now, so what does that have to do with mitzvah? When the inside understands and it can relate to the outside, the structure becomes one. It's taken on its person. It's understanding, because not that we're the soul of Israel. We are the essence of Israel. That's what the Noahide is. And if you ever learn anything in your life, we are what makes Israel bounce. Right now, Israel is a deflated, dead tennis ball. Who is Israel? Jacob. Who is Jacob? Adam. Adam is dead. He's in a fallen state. A ball with no bounce. Because all the air is out of it. All the essence is gone. Once the essence understands and fixes itself and understands it is the essence. It's not the body, it's not the soul. It is, without air, you can't breathe. Without the essence of Adam, he can't breathe either. He has no form. Only then, once we fix ourselves here between the ears and understand that when we do mitzvah, when we do prayer, when we do the feast, when we do all these things, that we are rebuilding Adam from the inside out. We are not the conversion doesn't help Adam. Only inversion does. We are what Adam needs. Adam needs us as much as we need air itself. Once we become the essence of Adam, it is that essence power that destroys Gog and Magog. What is Gog and Magog in our model? Let's say I hit this tennis ball and it went in a mud puddle. And it's got mud caked all over it. But it's caked on this side. Mm-hmm. The mud, the klipa, the outer crust of dirt is Gog and Magog. It is all tohu. This whole side of tohu. In tohu we have 974 generations. We've got all of Esau. See, Esau brings up a problem, right? Because isn't Abraham the father of the Jews? Wasn't he the father of Esau?
Yes, he is.
All right. So now we got a problem. Because the Gentile countries are from Esau.
Well, we also have Ishmael that's the same.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Same dynamic. Where's Waldo in that? See the problem? So here's the thing. Here's the thing that the Noahides have to come to grips with, and the Jews. have to come to grip with. Where are the Noahides in Jacob? There are none. What about, where are the Noahides in Esau? Isn't Esau his brother? So where's the Noahide in that? Where's the essence of Jacob in Esau? Let's back it up a little bit. Where's the Noahide in Noah? Furthermore, where's the Jew? There's no Jew and Gentile in Noah. There's no Jew and Gentile in Seth. There's no Jew and Gentile in Cain and Abel. There's no Jew and Gentile in Adam. Or there's no thing called a Jew and a Gentile. Let's clarify that. So where's the Noahide in Cain and Abel? Where's the Noahide in Seth? Where's the Noahide in Enoch? Where are we in Genesis? Well, let's say Genesis chapter 8 and before. Where are we in Genesis 36? Of the kings of Edom. Where are we? What are we? Who are we? Why are we? That's what we're going to figure out over the next 13 weeks. We're going to search and we're going to find it and we're going to pinpoint it in everything. But it's all going to come back to the end is rooted in the beginning and we are its essence. We're going to go back, so I want to go back so far. I want to go back to Ein Sof, infinite light. When the thought arose in his mind that he was going to even create creation, that he was even going to create sound, sight, that he was going to create the letters and the vowels and the crowns on the letters. And we're going to find out that has a lot to do with a lot. We're going to find out that sound is one of the first things that emanates out of Adam Kadmon, and it's called Shema, because it means to hear. Which brings a whole new light on what the Shema is. Because you're taking it all the way back to Ak, and the first emanation of light of Ak. Because although Ak, Adam Kadmon, doesn't have eyes and ears and a nose and a mouth, yet light emanates out of his ears, nose, then mouth, then eyes. It's going to have it's going to give you a whole new consciousness on why speech, why nephesh, why mahut, why ears, why we will do and we will hear. Why there's 2 holes here, 2 holes here, 1 hole here, and 2 holes here. It's good. Our body and Adam and Hashem, it is going to be tremendous for us to learn it. And the problem with the Noahide is we don't have the vocabulary. You know, like Zeron-Pin, Nukva, Atikyomin, all the different names and stuff. And that was some of the stuff that was the most confusing when we taught it. Now, what's this Sivaot over here and what's this Sivaot over there? And is it Elohim Sivaot? Is it Havayah Sivaot? Well, in the beginning was He and His name. We're going to cover the 72 and the 63 and like the 52 or 53, something like that. And it's going to go on down. We covered all that at that one time. And what does that have to do? Why did Moses use the 72 letter name of God? When you hear that, it's just gonna excite you, because we're going to understand the name and God and why He made creation. And it's also going to help us understand what the resurrection is, why there even has to be one. It blew me away when I read it. It blew me away. Why there's a resurrection. And then why there's an elevation. And so That's where we're going over the next 13, 14 weeks. You know, our goal is to get this down. Had we not started in January and diagrammed out and fleshed out the basic spheroid structure, because if there's a spheroid here, guess what? You know, we got the part Suf, and we're going to find out why there's a part Suf. And well, there's a spheroid structure here, a spheroid structure here, here, all the way up. And how God literally breathed light, you know, and would suck light back in and leave a void. And how he keeps doing this with rings and rings and rings, and how every time he sort of metaphorically breathes in light, a whole new universe is created. All of these things are universes, and I want to use the term multiverse, because it's way more than a universe. It's way more than a universe. And we are so far on the outer rim, because the universes go in. Infinitely in. Which sounds crazy. But what happens is, infinitely in is infinitely out. Now, I'm going to go show you, I've got one more tool that I'm going to show right quick. This is a tube, and this is our inside-outside wall. Okay? If we look at, are you cold? I am sweating. Now, to understand this tube, represents this piece right here of Malkut that literally got skinny and protruded out. This is actually the Yesod, and here's Malkut at the bottom. This is the area of Yetzirah formation. This is Asiya, where we live in. This is Bariah. And this is Atzilut. Now, this tube is this area right here. From Seth to David. That's this tube. From Adam Harishon to Malchut. We could metaphorically say from the head to the feet, but this is a torus. It's moving. It's moving. If we draw us a torus up here, here's our tube. Of course it goes this way, and this torus is moving this way, in this direction, and this direction, this direction, and this direction. It's constantly moving, like a donut. The tube here,
It's really where the donut hole would be.
yes, is where the donut hole would be. Now, this is before the fall. If I was to push this through there, which I'm not going to do, but I'm going to simulate doing it. If I was going to push that through there and it come out over here, it'd come out on this side like that. Unmitigated Gouverot. These things are serpents. They are upset and they are attacking anything and everything.
I see it in a
And everything is in destruction and chaotic. So, once these Gentiles understand they have to invert and go in and become the inner, and they go up and become the inner lining and inner space again. This is called the resurrection of Adam. So, but this thing is moving. So what's in there? Without the vacuum, the essence of the inner tube, none of it works. None of it works. Where's Waldo? Right there. We are the essence of the inner tube, of the inner of the ball, of the inner of the tube. So, you may say to yourself, oh, well, we're nothing. We're everything. Because, tell me now, where's the Noahide and where's the Jew? Doesn't exist. Because this thing is moving. You're on the inside? Where are you now? You're on the outside. Where are you now? You're on the inside? Where are you now? You're on the outside. This thing is perpetual movement. There's something that's going to happen.
So could you say it is constantly this and this and this?
That is how creation is made, yes. You are correct. But right now it's not in a state of that, it's in a state of this. But when God creates a new creation, He does that and then does that. Exactly. Because that's the feminine. Now, everything is on a male and female illustration. Okay? I say okay 300 times. This inner tube is the inversion process that the righteous Noahides have to partake in. This hole right here, it is the Evanstia. The bottom is Rachel, the top is Leah. This is the whole spine of Adam. It's the spine of creation. These are the two axes that our earth spins on. Our world is created like that. Everything that runs in our world runs off of an axis or an axle. Our cars, batteries. This is the negative polarity. This is the positive polarity. This is the tree top. This is the roots of the tree. Everything in creation works off of this principle. So, what is it called? Now that inversion has taken place, it's more than a Jew. This is more than a Jew. It's not a Gentile. It's not a Noahide. It's not a Jew. It's more than a Jew. It's Adam. Because where was the Jew in Adam? And where's the Gentile in Adam? Nothing. It's Adam. It's more than a Jew. Where is the division? There was no division. The end is rooted in the beginning. If there was no division then,
So it's all one.
that's right. and there is no vision, is no division. There will no be division in the coming of the Mashiach. We will literally be the energy, the bliss of the return of Adam, of the Guvarot, of Hava, inside of Adam. Because when Adam was created, where was Hava? There was no he and she.
She was within him.
Yeah. They were in a state of eternal, perpetual, multi-dimensional mating. Because that's what the Ein Sof is. The Ein Sof is in an eternal, perpetual peace or supernal mating. He's creating every day. He recreates creation every day. If he didn't recreate creation every, of course, the week, that's what the whole Shabbat's about. If he didn't recreate creation every time and send his blessing through the light filters of the spherotic structure of multi-dimensional multiverse every single week, we would perish.
Every single second.
Every single second. So he is in constant union.
Yeah.
Okay? So, where's Waldo in that? We are literally the bliss, the fuzzy feeling, the euphoria of the union. We are the spark of it. We are the energy that it gives off.
Well, that would be the first time that I would be the fuzzy feeling of anything.
Yeah. So when we do mitzvah, it is that organuz that is within Hashem himself that literally gives the essence of the Jew to want to do mitzvah. That literally brings the fuel to the rocket that brings the Mashiach. If you want to be a Noahide and do the 6 don't do's, please do that and don't mess this up for me. Because what I'm going to try to do is get in the essence, this is the secret of the scripture in Zechariah of the 2800, which is the grabbing the hem of the garment. 10 men will grab the hem of the garment of a Jew. And the number's 2800. It's actually far more than that, but it's called the secret of the 2800. When the righteous Gentile understands and he grabs the garment, the hem of the garment, and we become that bliss, that organuz, that energy that gives Adam the ball to bounce again. And when a ball has bounce, and this ball fell in the mud, and you throw it up against a concrete wall, what happens to the mud?
Splatters off.
That's how you break the cleat. That is the battle of Gog and Magog. The Jews, when the Mashiach fights Gog and Magog, we are that allows him to win. We are the power that he uses. It is us. Now, don't say to yourself, will we be alive? Well, of course. But don't say, well, will we know each other? Will we have arms and legs? That is so 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional. We are going to be so much more than that. What does an angel look like in this dimension? You know? Well, what does he look like in Atzilut? What does he look like in here? What does he look like here, 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 here? Well, I'm telling you what, the higher you go up, the closer to God, the more powerful it is. Now, The ones that want to stay on the bottom, on the very periphery, it's like being at a concert. If you're in an outdoor concert, and the outdoor concert is in Waco, Texas, and y'all are at Hallsburg, y'all can barely hear the music. But if it's at Baylor Stadium, and you're on the front row of that concert, you can feel the music, literally. And that's where the righteous Gentile is going to be. He's not only going to be able to feel the music, he's going to be the music.
But you know, if we're trying to think of this within this realm, the problem is that we can't think that it's really us that's doing it.
No.
Because what that is we'll get caught up into ego, and then we're not really doing anything but for ourselves. We're not doing it for creation.
We have to change our way of thinking and say, God, use me as a tool, and I am here to help redeem the fallen sparks of creation, whatever that means, and in whatever capacity it means, and whatever symphony that it happens. All we have to do is understand that whether we do mitzvah or whether we don't do mitzvah, we can't line our thoughts up with his thoughts, with Adam's thoughts. How can you be the inside of something you know nothing about? How can you be the support group, the inner support of Adam, if you have no idea why you're supporting or what you're supporting or how to even support it? So it's crucial for us to understand Torah and understand the deepest levels of Torah. You know, for those who want to be a Noahide and don't want to get into vodazoa or idolatry and cause more destruction on the body of Adam, that's what the Noahide laws are for. You just stay over there and quit throwing rocks at the ball. You know? It's not made for that. You know? But as we'll see, the whole thing had to happen so that it could, so God could see himself once again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Yeah. Or,
you know?
Yeah.
God is playing hide and seek with himself, and guess what? We are himself. And everything is going to return to a higher form, all consciousness. When we get to that point, what you're thinking, I'm going to know what you're thinking, you're going to know what I'm thinking.
So we're looking basically as a Noahide, or as this element, we're looking for the rabbit hole that we came back out of. Is that what you're saying? We're trying to go back and reverse the fall, so to speak.
Yeah.
And
when Adam fell out, he lost his essence too.
Right.
Whatever that is. Okay?
Kind of like a salmon swimming back upstream, trying to make it back to its source, trying to make it back into, is that what you're...
Yeah, except it's not going to die.
Yeah.
It's going to become a super salmon.
Lost his mojo.
See, there's a term that we're creating. We have the 70 nations. We have the Magnificent 70. Inside the 70 nations is the Magnificent 70. But inside the Magnificent 70 is the Secret 70. And there's going to be the 70, the Secret 70, the Magnificent 70, and it's never going to not stop. And we can't think of it as, once all this happens and it goes to here, poof, it'll all be over. No, That's a long haba, 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 haba. It's just going to keep going and going and going and going, and ultimate bliss and ultimate. That is heaven. And we can play a crucial role as where is Waldo, and we are Waldo. And so for the next few weeks, next few months, we're gonna erase all this and we're gonna start over, and we're going to try to see where we are in each one of these things. Every time God penetrated light and removed the light to create a new layer, that's that air, that's that gap in there of bliss, of fuzziness, fuzzy feeling, of creation. There's Waldo. And we're going to see Waldo every time he creates something. There's Waldo. That's why he gotta have us. He could have destroyed us how many times? With the flip of his finger. But we're the feel good. We're the feel good. And nothing makes me feel good than to be the feel good.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, to fix ourselves, we need to fix our understanding. We need to quit trying to say it's this, it's that, with no matter what it is. You know? And all the Noahides don't need to do this, the Noahides don't need to do that. They don't need to eat clean. They don't need to do this. They don't need to do that. They don't need to do the mitzvahs. The mitzvahs aren't for them, and this and that and the other. Understand that Torah was given by the Creator, and we were created by the Creator. We're inseparable.
Because we were all at Mount Sinai.
We were all at Mount Sinai. We were all in Akudim. We were all in Nakudim. We were all in Berudim. Now, we are not the body of Adam. Make no mistake. But we are his essence. So, we'll see what time it is here. 7:07. That's about right. So we'll leave this today. We will start next week going through this whole thing, and what I'm going to do, the key to the whole thing is vocabulary, so I'm going to have to make some vocabulary sheets.
Well, hopefully that book will come in, and that will be perfect, because it has a perfect vocabulary in the back of it.
Yeah, but this is a Dom Kadmon vocabulary that I don't know.
It's
in there.
It's in there.
Because we got to learn Sag and Ma and Ab and all these different things because they'll have values.
Well, it has a lot of it, what we're doing here.
Does it?
But the book, the one that I got, and I'm hoping that you've got the second edition, because the first edition don't have the glossary in the back. So mine doesn't have it. Hopefully, the one that comes in with you guys, you'll have the glossary, and then that'll be a good starting point. Now, if there's other things,
and we're going to relate it.
You got to add to it
to the Bahir, because it's all in here too. But it's so coded. Ugh. It makes me so frustrated. And the reason we don't understand is because it's not our language. It's not our Torah. It's not our language. We have to be so careful. And that's why the rabbis are so critical when we say something. You know? Don't mess it up. You know? But we have to have enough to where we can fix what's we've broken. You know?
Well, that's probably true. We probably the place to start is, where we've messed everything up by taking it and not following the tradition. and not following the understanding
Yeah.
as it should have been given, to us, and we should have took it and stayed with that. But we've got outside of that.
Yeah.
Basically because of ego, brought us out of it, just like you said, we wanted to do our own thing, and this was ours.
And the Gouverot mind has to have absolutes. It's got to be absolutely something. And the Ein Sof is nothing, because he made it something from nothing, so he has to be nothing. Does that mean God's nothing? God forbid. But he made something from nothing, so by definition, he is no thingness.
No thingness. Because nothingness is something he created.
Yeah.
He creates something out of.
Yeah. How do you create darkness? If everything is light, and if you are light, how do you create darkness? Try to figure that one out. But he did it. And if he can do that, he created nothing and then made nothing, because darkness is nothing. So how do you go from nothing to nothing?
Well,
So
I think
that's why we have to always go back to the story of the boys in the chimney.
It's a good story.
Stacy didn't like it. She didn't like the story of the boys in the chimney. Stacy wants to know why.
I got home.
There got to be a reason. Nope, there doesn't. Because the reason will all be shown in the end. I mean,
The reason doesn't matter in the end.
oh yeah, it will. But you'll see it and you'll just go, how simple was that?
Yeah.
It's going to be simply profound and profoundly simple in the end. And guess what? It's just this. It's all it is. It's just this. John, when I say this, I'm holding it.
What are you holding up?
I'm holding a tennis ball.
10-4.
All right. So you have to find out, where's Gouverot in this? Where's Hasidim in this? Where's the Jew in this? Where's the Gentile in this? Where's God in this? Where are the angels in this? Where's everything? It's all in this. This tennis ball. So I guess that's our class for today. I'm going to teach this class again on Sunday. This was kind of my dry run. And teach this class again on Sunday, because I think this is what the Noahides really need, is to start figuring out how to get inverted, how to really understand the more Torah you do, the better you are. The deeper you learn, the deeper you go in to Adam. And that's the whole thing,
Exactly.
So the sages are great, the Torah is great, and God is great. And we will see y'all next Wednesday. Adios, everybody.